take 8,523. Oh my goodness. I don't know why this is being such a difficult thing to record. Okay. Welcome everybody to the Wolf Ranch on my birthday weekend. I'm turning 44 on February 27th, and this video I'm going to talk about 10 things that I would tell myself when I was in my 20s. So let's get started. Oh my gosh. I just cannot get this right. Okay, so we are going to be talking about 10 things that I would tell myself in my 20s. And I just want to preface this by saying, gosh, we're having a little bit of a difficulty with the birthdays this year, just because life is changing or has changed so much for us in really the last 7 years. But really the last like 6 months, our kids are getting older and they're getting out of that baby and super needy stage and entering into the more independent stage. And we're starting to ask questions like, when are we going to retire? What are we going to do when we retire? All sorts of different things. So I wouldn't say that this birthday is going to be difficult or I'm having a hard time handling it. It's just trying to adapt to this new season of life. Maybe that snuck up on me. I don't know. Anyway, so a little bit harder to swallow. Not that I'm panicking or anything like that. I actually love where life is right now. I just can't believe that I'm 44 or I'm going to be 44 in just a few days. I can't believe that my husband's going to be 50 in August. And just reflecting on things and like how proud I am of the things that I've come through in my life. And if you've had, and I had a great life, I had great parents, I had a great childhood, and, difficulties came more in my adult stage and my young adult stage into my 30s. And now I feel like I'm balanced and, learning who I really am on the inside. And that's a neat place to be. A different place to be, but a neat place to be. So let's get to my list finally. Okay, so 10 things that I would tell my 20-year-old self. And I have a list. So the first thing that I would tell my 20-year-old self is that you cannot afford not to invest in yourself or not to invest in your future. So when I was 20 years old, I was a single mom, and I was putting myself through school, I was working full time, and I was a single mom. And thank God for my parents. I was not one of those people whose parents had their child all the time. My parents were a blessing, and they did watch my son when I was at home or if I was in class. But other than that, I was with my son. And I just really didn't think that I could afford to invest. I didn't know what investing was. I didn't know what an IRA or a Roth IRA was. And I certainly at 20 years old was not thinking about retirement. And nobody told me to. Nobody told me that I needed to be thinking about retirement or the future. And that is just like my single biggest regret, is that I didn't take $25 a month or $25 a pay and invest it into a retirement account. So a Roth IRA takes taxes out of your contributions before it goes into the investment account, and then a regular IRA is taxed when you bring it out. And you can start these by yourself, or you can go through an investment banker. Like anybody, just look up, IRA investing in your area and pick somebody. And if you don't like the company, you can always roll that over to a different company later in time. But my goodness, if I would have started investing at that age and then just inched it up as I've done over the last 6 years, I just would not have to worry about anything. Who's joining us? That would be Jigs. The big brown lab. Oh, hi, Jigs. Hi. Okay. Okay. So that's the first thing. You cannot not afford to plan for your future. You just can't. Especially now, I mean, when I was that age, most companies had pensions. Now they don't. And investing in an IRA or a Roth IRA as soon as possible is just so, so important. And you can do it with just a minimal amount of money. And if you make that a priority and that just comes out, of your account the same day every month, then you're just setting yourself up for success in the future. I mean, they have a very good rate of return over time. It was such a mistake for me to not do that. Hopefully, I've rectified that mistake over the last, couple of years, but with compounding interest, time is what you need to have. So, I mean, I'll never make up the amount of money that I could have made up, if I had started investing in my 20s. And I'm not talking about investment trading. I'm talking about a consistent amount of money going into a fund that is managed by people that are way smarter than I am, and at the rate of risk that you are comfortable with. And if you have a good investment banker, that person will take you through an evaluation and find out how comfortable you are with what kind of risk, and they will invest your money based on that. And I've had wonderful success with my investment banker, and hopefully we'll get to the goals that we wanted to, but man, do I wish that I would have done that in my 20s. Okay, so number 2, just who cares what other people think? That, oh my gosh. So financially, the IRA investing is my biggest mistake. And then every other aspect of life, just caring what other people think about how I live my life or how I lived my life and letting that influence my decisions, just stupid. Because those people don't have to walk in your shoes. Those people don't pay your bills. No, please don't. And if I remember having my hair the way that other people thought that I should have my hair, or spending certain amount of money on clothing, or buying certain brands of clothing, or buying certain brands of accessories, or doing this or this or this, just because that's what other people were doing, or just because that's what they told me that I should do. Well, or buying a car. I never did the buy the car thing because cars aren't my deal. But God, the amount of money that I wasted on things that just didn't work for me because that's what other people said that I should do, it was just stupid. And none of those people are my friends. None of those people are in my life today. And I never would have thought that when I was in that situation. But if you have to dress a certain way, or if you have to drive a certain type of vehicle to impress people, then those people are crap people and you don't want them in your life. I mean, that's all there is to it. And if you care what your friends drive, or if your friends wear a certain type of clothing for them to be able to hang out with you, then shame on you. That's not what life is about in any way, shape, or form. So I wish I just had not done that, because those people are just not in my life anymore, and it just seems so ridiculous. Okay, so I just feel like people just need to be kind to each other and just support each other how they need to be able to build the life that they want to live. And if you have a goal of accomplishing something in your life, and there's a person there that you care about what they think, and they're telling you not to do that, or they're not supporting you in a way that is going to help you to accomplish those goals, I just think that you shouldn't listen to those people, and that you should do what you need to do to build the life that you want. And I have found that things have gone much more smoothly and much more in a way that benefited me and my family when I stopped doing that, when I stopped caring about what other people thought about me. 3 is to keep going. Set your goal and keep going, and don't give up. Life is going to throw huge boulders at you. Rarely does life ever go the way you plan for it to go. There might be some aspects of life that go as you plan, and then other aspects of life that do not. I can tell you that the way that I envisioned my life in the future when I was in my 20s is not at all how it has turned out. And I'm very, very grateful for that. I love my husband. I love my kids. I love where our life is now. And if I had, I guess, accepted what people told me that I needed to do, then I wouldn't have the life that I have now. So just keep going. Set your goal and go after it, whether it be health, whether it be finances, whether it be, something to do with home or career. Just set a goal, have goals. Like, having goals is so, so important. People that have goals are like 60% more likely to be successful than people that don't. So definitely have a goal in all of those areas, and then set your mind at that goal and do what you need to do to get there. I'm an educator. I work with seniors, like I teach seniors, and there are so many people that I hear that tell these kids, you need to get married and have kids, and they don't want to have kids. Well, if you don't want to have kids, then don't have kids. Or they need to go to a 4-year college, but they don't want to. They want to go to a tech school, or they want to go to a certification program. Then go to the certification program. Or people are telling them that they're not college material, but they want to go to college. Then go to college. Again, those people are not living your life. Those people are not paying your bills. I'm not trying to say don't listen to what your parents say or anything like that. Like, that's not what I'm telling you. But ultimately, you're the person that has to live your life. And if those people that are around you care and love about you, or they care about and love you, then they are going to be supportive, and they are going to care about and love you regardless of if you go with the exact path that they have dreamed for you, or whether you set your own path. So just keep that in mind. Number 4, this is a lesson that I've learned. When people act one way in public and then another way when nobody's looking, something is wrong. You should steer clear of those people as much as possible, because that is a clear indicator that they are not being honest with people around them, and they certainly are not being honest with you. And definitely don't be one of those people. I try, I strive. Now, I'm not saying air your dirty laundry. Like, Facebook is not a place to air dirty laundry. Instagram, social media of any kind is not a place to battle out anything or air dirty laundry. Definitely don't do that, because employers look at those things and search those things out, and those things that you do in your 20s will affect you in your career and in your life in the future. But for sure, and I lived with this for a long time, for sure, when someone acts one way at home and one way in public, and those ways do not jive, you need to get out of that situation as soon as possible, or at least have arm's length to where it doesn't fully affect your life. I wish that I would have learned that earlier than what I did. 5, and this is something that my husband and several people around me tell me all the time: stop expecting you from other people. People are not you. I've had to learn to stop expecting myself from other people in any given situation, and that is a hard lesson to learn. Gosh, sorry. The dogs were going crazy. I was coughing. Insanity is happening. Okay. So, start investing. Don't worry about what other people think. Set a goal for yourself and keep going. Know that when people act one way in public and a different way in private, as far as like how the treatment of people, That's not a good thing. Stop expecting you from other people. 6, stay out of credit card debt. Oh goodness. Oh, the money that I could have had I not gotten into credit card debt, which actually relates to the second thing that I would tell myself in my 20s. Most of the credit card debt that I got into was trying to live up to expectations of other people. And that was just a mistake. Credit cards, when you don't pay them off at the end of every billing cycle, are extremely detrimental. They are not good for you. They're not good for your financial life. It's just a bad deal all the way around. Now, if you are a person that has, I guess, self-discipline, and you can say, I can afford to pay $500 every month, then you can spend that $500 every month on that credit card and pay it off. I didn't even know what a budget was when I was in my 20s, so I had no idea what I could afford or couldn't afford. I know that if I had taken the money that I spent on credit cards and invested it into an IRA, then my retirement would be looking a lot better than it is now. Not that it's looking bad, but it would be a lot better. So definitely stay away from credit cards, and know what a budget is, which I have videos on how to create a budget. Very easy. Number 6, set up multiple lines of income. So I think that during the pandemic, what a lot of people learned is that even their jobs that they felt very secure in were not actually secure. So setting up multiple lines of income, setting yourself up on a budget, setting yourself up with a steady income, but then also extra lines of income, side hustles, developing other skills and then utilizing those skills. So I'm an educator, so my main income is my salary from teaching. But since I have those technical skills, and since I have, technical writing abilities, and I teach and I make my own lesson plans, once Teachers Pay Teachers became a thing, I last year decided to open up a Teachers Pay Teachers shop. So I have a line of income. It's not very big right now. That's one of my goals this year, is to increase my income from that. But that is residual income, where I'm doing the work one time, posting it, and then I have income coming in over and over and over from those things without adding additional work in to that one particular product anyway. So find multiple lines of income. Doing photography on the side, editing on the side, having some sort of a side hustle, investing. We are looking at rental properties now to be able to have residual income through our retirement. Once we retire, we want to be able to have these rental places where we have a cash flow coming in with not a huge amount of work. So try and set up or try and brainstorm multiple lines of income. That way, if one of them falls through, you have another one to fall back on. Number 7, and this is more personal, is know that church and faith are not the same thing. People run churches and people are imperfect. And if you put all of your faith into people, you are 100% going to be disappointed and hurt. Faith is not connected to people. Faith is connected to God. So God is perfect, and he's not ever going to let you down. So again, his plan and your plan might be two very different things. But I told you before, I am very grateful for the prayers that were not answered. So just know that. Just church and faith are not the same thing. Number 8, stop trying to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And honestly, now I'm not saying don't have a clean house, but you can see this is my husband's side of the bed, and you can see that underneath there is really kind of disorganized. But I'm not going to stress over that because it's not perfect. One, nobody really comes in here except for us. And two, if somebody cares, again, about your house having dust or things not looking like a magazine, you don't need those kind of people in your life. And no matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody that does something better. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't strive to do better. I strive every day to do better. But again, it's not a comparison. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people and trying to be, you know, that person or to be perfect in someone else's eyes. So I was watching something on Instagram, and it was a photo shoot for leggings, and they literally took foam pads that look like half of a melon and stuck them in this person's, like in the pants, in the back of the pants, to make the butt cheeks look perfect. And I knew that happened, but I was like, oh my God, like literally, you do not know if anything that you are looking at is real. So why are you trying to consider that perfect and then make yourself be that? So just be who you are. Like, figure out a way to be happy with yourself and don't take things at face value. Like, just don't. There's so much around us that is not reality anymore. 9, be kind to yourself. So we have all survived a lot of things. Like, we have survived 100% of the challenges that we have faced in our life because we're still here. And you should be proud of that. You shouldn't look back at the failures. You shouldn't look back at this. Like, I shouldn't look back at myself and be like, okay, you were a single mom at 19 and that you should be ashamed of that. No, I should look back at that and say, I was a single mom at 19 and I raised a wonderful son who's now 26, living on his own, completely self-sufficient. And I put myself through school so that I could have the career that I wanted. And I worked so that I could support myself and my son. Like, those are the things that I need to look at. Yes, I got divorced when I was, in my 30s. Should I be ashamed of that? I don't know if I should be ashamed of that or not. But I know that had I not gotten divorced, then I wouldn't be in the situation that I am now with my husband, whom I just adore and who I feel adores me, and be happier than I ever thought that I could be. And my sons, if I hadn't have been married to my ex-husband, then I wouldn't have 3 great stepkids. I wouldn't have Christian. I wouldn't have maybe gone through the loss of our son, but I had to go through the loss of our son to have Christian and to be able to have that perspective of life that so many people don't have, to be able to help people that have gone through things that are similar. So, there's a lot of things that I should be proud of and that I should be happy about, and look at things as a means to an end rather than each individual hiccup. So be kind to yourself and look at the successes and focus on the successes. And it's said that you have to say 10 good things to cancel out every one bad thing. And surely you can write down 10 good things that have come from something that's bad. You might have to do some searching, but surely you can do that. And then last but not least, do what scares you. I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not talking about jumping off a bridge because I don't like heights and I'm not going to jump off a bridge. But I want to travel. I'm extremely terrified of planes. But I get on the planes anyway and I go. Now, I'm not saying that I go all the time, but we go. I was scared to start a new job in a new school district, and I love it. I was scared about having another child after Jacob passed away, but I did, and he is an amazing human being, and I love him. He drives me crazy sometimes, but I can't imagine life without him. I was scared to death to get in a relationship after divorce, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I do not really know anything about gardening or anything about farm animals or anything about anything, and I've learned and I've tried and I've failed, and I love the life that we have. So do the things that scare you. Not things that put you in danger, but do the things that scare you, and know that life is about experiences and wonder and gratitude, and just be ready to live life and live it on your terms, not other people's terms. So that's what I have for you guys today. So happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to any of you on February 27th that share my birthday. We have an awesome birthday together. And now I'm going to go and get a massage, because that is what I'm getting myself for my birthday. So you guys have a great day. I hope you took some things away from this. And if you liked it, then like, subscribe, and I will see you guys again next week. So have a great day. Laters.